everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Say hello, everybody. You're on here. So we're on for another session of Freedom Confessions. And just so you all know, because we got questions the last time, I am not driving. She's driving. I also do have my seatbelt on, just so you know. But we want to share. But we just read
Alpha Kappa Alpha to all of my Alpha Kappa Alpha there. Want to say happy Founders Day to all impersonate LL Cool J. It's because that I'm representing Founders Day today for Alpha Kappa Alpha.
And I licked my lips for a reason, just so you all know. Anybody who know LL Cool J know exactly why I just licked my lips. But anyway, so we want to just talk real quick about an article that we just read. Why don't you go ahead and tell them what the title of that article was?
The title of the article: America's biggest owner of farmland is now, in quotations, who wants to guess?
That would be Bill Gates. So not only has in 2020 did Bill Gates become a doctor, but now apparently he's also a farmer. Now I just have a question for everyone, and that question really becomes, and you've heard us say it for a very long time, that this is a game of chess, not checkers. So why is now Bill Gates the biggest owner of farmland? That article, because he's not the only one. You know, Jeff Bezos, I think, on there also across several states. We come on and we're talking about ultimately how we have done our absolute best to begin growing as much of our food as we possibly can ourselves. There's a reason why we're doing that. There's a reason why even though and keep in mind, there's a reason we don't want our and the connection is a little whatever. The connection might be going. We all know the controversial conversations and the controversial topics that Bill Gates has been involved with regard to population control. Well, when I look strategically at some of the things that we're doing,
They might be censored.
so again, now we're having these connection issues. If I see on the post that it's just too choppy to understand, we'll re-record it later and put it back up later. But ultimately, is really doing that. You should start asking questions. That would be a very good question to ask. So we're going to share some of the things that we do. We live on land, but we also don't like all the spraying that's happening out there. So it's really hard to have things that are organic. So we started growing as much of our vegetables as we possibly can, and we do it inside. So we're going to share with you what we do inside to help with our food source. So when you talk about preparing, when you talk about freedom, one of the ways that you achieve freedom is being as self-sufficient as possible, and that includes with your food, right?
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell them what we grow inside the house?
Right now we have collard greens growing. They're a beautiful stock. We have kale. We have Bib lettuce. We have Swiss chard. We have, we're germinating right now inside of the house. You can't grow avocado trees inside the house, but we're germinating 2 different breeds of avocados. We've grown garlic, turmeric, onions. We have tomatoes. We have lemongrass or fever grass, as some of us may call it. We have some thyme, some rosemary, some basil.
And don't forget the mint.
Oh yes, black mint. I like we drink a lot of tea, so we like to make sure that we have leaves fresh for our tea that we can boil ourselves, because one of the top 2 things that are heavily chemically induced or have a lot of pesticides are our teas, our coffee beans. I don't drink coffee, but our coffee beans, our teas, and our seasonings. And what I mean by seasonings, I mean like things that people use as far as like seasoning salts or different things, your Mrs. Dash or whatever. You have to check and make sure that those things are non-GMO and
the peppers?
And organic. No, we have green peppers,
cucumbers,
eggplant.
You can grow watermelon in there too. We've done that in the past, but the watermelon takes a bunch of water.
A lot of water.
All right, so what we use is a hydroponic growing system inside our house. It has grow lights. It's not that big. It's right there in our dining room. And maybe she'll post a picture of where it is right now later on this thread. But we do all those things inside, and we're able to do that, and it's pretty hands-off. But when you start looking at these articles and you start asking yourself questions and you talk about how do we prepare, we just want to share with you all real quick one of the ways that we are preparing for any eventuality, and that is to be as self-sustaining and self-sufficient as possible with our food source. So regardless of what happens out here with the grocery stores, and some of you all saw that at the beginning of this whole COVID-19 thing, where we started limiting a lot of things. There were shortages. It was hard to get into grocery stores and find stuff.
Hey, if you run out of toilet paper, at least you can count on your plantain and banana leaves.
That was a little deep.
Just saying.
That was a little deep.
I mean, you know,
plant
some things and
that was a little deep.
Compost.
I was just saying, at least we can eat.
Compost.
At least we have nutrient-dense, rich food inside.
I'm all about lessening our carbon footprint.
And our kids also understand that food doesn't come from the grocery store. It's stuff that we actually grow. So many of y'all know that we do homeschool. So we do have a horticulture class, as we call it, every day, where they water, they take care of plants. They create compost and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's important. We just want to share with you all one of the ways. You'll see a link down at the bottom. That is the tower. It's called the Tower Garden. That is what we use in our home, and that is what we use to be self-sufficient, at least with regard to our vegetables, our herbs and things of that nature. Right. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment. But this is one way. All of you all don't have to agree. All of you all don't have to do it. But we're just going through and sharing some of the things that we do. How we stay healthy, number one, and then number two, how we're preparing for any eventuality. And achieving freedom also means freedom with regard to our food sources. So our little ones are calling us. If we don't answer, it only gets worse. So we will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.